Welcome to the Spiritual Awakening with Shaz podcast, where we unlock the power within and navigate the journey of your self-discovery together. I'm Shaz Sini, your spiritual mentor and life coach, here to help you tap into your inner guidance system and manifest your best life. Whether you're just beginning your spiritual journey or looking to deepen your practice, this podcast offers insights, techniques, and inspiration to elevate your consciousness and transform your reality. Get ready to shine your light and embrace your true potential. Remember, the answers are inside you. Let me be your guide on earth. Welcome back to the Spiritual Awakening with Shaz podcast. Today I want to talk to you about the moment you realize healing feels exhausting. It's when your self-improvement becomes a survival mode. And too many people don't recognize the loop that you can get in that keeps you stuck rather than healing like you're meant to be doing. So this episode's for the woman that's done all the things. You know, you've journaled, cried, listened to the podcast, bought all the books, pulled all the cards. You've tapped on it, meditated on it, prayed on it, cleared it, forgiven everybody. Analyzed, overanalyzed, and probably asked the universe a million times, what on earth do you want from me? Yet somehow underneath it all, you still feel tired. Not just physically tired, you know, that soul tiredness, that weariness, the heaviness, the aspect where you're so tired and you judge yourself over and over again and start thinking, I should be further along than I am right now. This is when healing starts to feel less like freedom and more like an unpaid job. There's always another layer, another story or pattern, wound, past life, generational thing, or some reason you're apparently not done yet. And honestly, that is exhausting. Today, I want to talk about that, the part of healing that we don't talk about enough, the pattern underneath the healing. We use healing for self-development, spiritual work, and all the tools we love as another way to judge ourselves at times, to fix ourselves and prove that we're finally worthy. You're not a problem, or nor are you broken. You're not a project. You're a person with a life, and you're meant to experience life. You're meant to experience joy, peace, love, happiness, success, all the good stuff too. But we never give ourselves permission to do it. Sometimes it's okay to put down that healing baton. You don't need to be healing all the time. Yes, there are stages where healing is important and you start to wake up and realize the patterns exist. Once you know those patterns exist, it's easy to start changing your behavior. That is where the real change comes from. The actions that you take. You stop falling back into cycles. That awareness is the most powerful aspect, but it's what you would do with awareness that matters the most. When you start to put in your own boundaries and stop saying yes when you mean no, you start attracting emotionally available people, not the unavailable ones that you've been used to. So many women come and see me, oh my God, I just met another man and it was great. And then he removed himself because he's emotionally unavailable. Or you're panicking because they pull back and you're not sure how to handle it. You freeze when you want to speak up because you don't know what to say, and heaven forbid you should offend them. This is not helping you heal. It's not helping you be seen. You don't need to go and hide under a blanket, eat all the crappy food and punish yourself for it. You just need to realize this is not the pattern I want to continue. You recognize the wound, but you can get stuck here. Knowing the story does not help you unless you realize how the story helped you become who you are right now. That inner child pattern shows you how you behave. Is that the way you want to behave? Are you stuck in trauma response from the family or getting triggered by things that inadvertently you don't even realize have an impact until they do. Okay, we all know the old grief where you know the words and labels and all the reasons, but inside you're still having the same reaction. This is the true depth of healing. Sometimes we can use healing as a place to hide. That is not the way it's meant to be. We are not meant to explain everything away or delay things. And we're certainly not meant to keep asking, what is wrong with me? Start asking, what is right with me? Look at all the great things in your life. Look at all the things that you've achieved, what you do, how you show up, and build from that. In my own life right now, I'm having some problems with someone, and it's triggering me in ways that I know how I used to react. I'd fly off the handle and heaven help the person on the other end of it. But I am making the choice to purposefully step back a moment, take time before I respond, and choose what is the outcome that I desire, not the chaos that's going to happen in between. Focusing on that outcome and choosing what I want, raising my boundaries, setting my standards, all help me navigate this situation. I don't like chaos, so therefore I refuse to go back with it. And sometimes people tell me that looks like you're running away or you're not standing up for yourself. I won't respond in anger. I will not give you enough permission to make me do so anymore. Occasionally, I fly off the handle, we all do. But I'll take time, gather my resources, work out what I want, and then confront the situation. That is a new pattern that I created. I allowed myself to breathe. I allowed the peace to come and settle here. I choose my response. This is not people pleasing. I'm not bowing down, and I certainly will not drop my boundaries or what I will tolerate. I stand up for myself on my terms, not yours. I will not give someone else power over me to trigger me into reacting until I'm ready. You can have that too. These wounds and repetitions are always usually about someone else. A lot of the time they show up when people try their best to drag us into chaos and drama and cycles. It's like someone wanting to drag yourself down with them. Cut the rope. You don't need to be tied to anybody else's chaos and drama. I don't give anyone else permission to do that. I have a sovereign aspect of self. I maintain it with faith and grace, and I choose what I want when I want. I do look at myself. I analyze myself about what's happening. I don't beat myself up about it whatsoever. I ask the question, am I at fault here? Or is this a boundary that I won't accept? I'll sometimes seek help and ask someone for advice on it to ensure that I'm not ignoring what's right in front of my face. And that's why I take time to work out what I want to do with that information, how I want to use what's happening to me to show what I need to create the space and harmony that I want in my life, to bring about my success, my choice, my desires. You can do, and you don't have to do it by bringing up all the childhood wounds, all the patterns, all the traumas, all the grief, all the things that you've already dealt with. You start to realize, how did I deal with that, and what tools, coping mechanisms, or actions do I have now that I can become? We don't always sit with a journal and a candle and feel calm. A lot of the time, people come along and poke the bear. For many years now, I've had friends try and poke the bear. I tune it out because that's where I found my real healing, is by not giving my power to someone else to make me react in a way that I don't like. Am I perfect at it? Hell no. I get it wrong, I do. But I do step back. I do take time. I do look at all perspectives. I look at it I turn it around and analyze it, not overanalyze it, but I look at it as to what is the outcome that I want, not what is the problem that I'm facing. And that's when my nervous system finds the greatest safety. I'm not being pushed to react or forced into something I don't want. I'm choosing from my own peace. I ask myself questions of how important is this boundary to me? What will I tolerate from other people in their behavior towards me? What is the line in the sand that I have to draw around some people? That is for me. I used to think that freezing and stopping and pausing and pulling back was a bad thing until I used that time for calmness, reconnection, choice. These things matter. I'm not disappearing into myself. I'm not being forced to do something I don't want to. I'm choosing my timeline, my reaction, my choice. The answer decision that makes the best outcome for me first. Now, too many people are going to tell you that is highly selfish. It's not. If you don't look after yourself, no one else will look after you for you. And then you will be forced back into chaotic patterns and people pleasing and bowing down and becoming more and more traumatized by people by not choosing what you will have as a standard for yourself. You will no longer be able to be dragged into reaction when you know who you are. Triggers become the greatest gift for me because every time I was triggered, I would thank the person that triggered me because it gave me an aspect of self to heal and change my own thought processes, decision making, and the actual standards that I have, or the boundaries or beliefs underwriting the patterns that are showing up. They became the healing tool. And nowadays, I'm rarely triggered by things simply because I choose how much it matters to me. There have been situations where I can get triggered by people saying things, and it's natural to do so. When someone's bullying you, picking on you, putting you down, labeling you, the natural response is to be hurt. And we respond from hurt in anger. I respond from peace now. I look at that hurt and ask myself, why did it hurt and what did that mean to me? Or who had done that to me before? And then I just consider, is the person saying or doing it have enough value or importance in my life to even consider it in the first place? One of my favorite sayings is, I don't mind because you don't matter. Your opinion's got nothing to do with me. If you want to judge me for something that I'm doing because you don't like it, don't be around it. I do not force myself, my opinions, my beliefs on you. I share them with you. You can take them or leave them. We are not responsible for other people's reactions to us. We're responsible for our response to those reactions. That is your choice, and I choose peace. I choose the responsibility of my own mindset, peace, response, the boundaries and reactions that I choose to show. That's where the greatest honesty with myself came from, in choosing, is that the person that I want to be in this world? Do I want to be someone highly triggered and reactive, or do I want to be someone that's understanding, calm, and loving? There are people out there that we just don't get along with, and that's okay. I just don't give them permission to bully me, trigger me, or say things to me that matter. I give them the space to be what they want, accept them as they are, and choose not to associate with that. That's the choice that we get. This is where the calmness comes when you really get through the healing. Most of the healing that happens is usually because someone else hurt us, rejected us, abandoned us, or did not see us, or made us feel like we're not enough. They make you feel that you have to become someone different before you can be loved. That's not true. The underlying thought for that is, if I heal this wound, if I do the work, if I heal the problem, they're going to love me anyway. But the love you're actually seeking isn't external, it's internal. It's, will you love yourself with the wounds or without them? What do you need to fix that pattern and to choose yourself? How can you regulate your nervous system? No one else can do it for you. Your success is based on your action. And it doesn't have to be an over-processing, over-analyzing, or spiritual thing that you have to do daily. It does not require all the hard work. Sometimes it requires working through it, feeling it, allowing it space to come to understand how it is and then how you choose to work with it. If your thought process is, when I stop reacting, I'll finally be worthy, you're not creating freedom in any way. You're just creating another cage. You're giving somebody else power over your reactions, your freedom of choice of showing up the way that you want to. You are never going to be for everybody. You have to be for yourself. Sometimes that cage looks pretty. It can be for drawing oracle cards, working with crystals or essential oils, doing meditation, Reiki, or the music or the sound bars. But it's still a cage if underneath your thought process is, I'm not okay. You need to be okay with who you are, where you're at right now, with acceptance. That's the part that we need to look at. That's the part where we struggle with, because we get told we're too needy, we're too sensitive, or too emotional, we're too intense, way too much, not enough, or that you're broken. But none of these are true. Your acceptance of who you are and where you're at will change the narrative inside. It's your desire to get acceptance for other people for that causes all the problem. Never give away your worth for someone else to define. You are more than enough. You are beautiful inside out. You are everything you need to be. The freedom of choosing who you are, how you show up, making no excuses for it, and just being that beautiful, compassionate, loving, wonderful person is more than enough. And you do not need to seek validation from other people. Too many of us seek that validation. It can come from relationships, from family, from friends, from work. Sometimes it can come through your oracle cards, wanting it to tell you what's going on, rather than trusting where you're at, being okay with how you show up each day. Remind yourself you're okay with who you are. Who you are is perfectly acceptable. Your soul never judges you. Your soul does not have a clipboard sitting there going, you're not doing this right, you're not showing up here, you're not responding well, you're not being enough. It's sitting there telling you you are beautiful and amazing exactly as you are. It loves you in every way that it can. You need help to see yourself as you already are on the inside, because half the triggers that you have is your body and your mind not agreeing with the thoughts of your soul. And this is where we create survival mode and the chaos within. And sometimes survival mode doesn't even look like chaos. It looks productive or spiritual, signing up for other courses, reading other books, seeking more validation. Seeking validation is a trauma response. And so is watching videos at 2 a.m. in the morning trying to find one more answer to describe what you're going through right now, to label your behaviors, to put you in a box and to create another cage for who and what you are. And sometimes it looks exactly like constantly trying to become the best version of you rather than accepting the version of you that exists right now. And I know that one can sting a lot, right? Because it did to me. I was always saying I'm trying to be the best version I can be. Now I just accept I'm just me. I show up as I am, take it or leave it. Yes, I improve myself because I enjoy the process, but I don't do it from a need of validation and acceptance from other people. I just want to be what I want to be because it makes me feel good. Sometimes chasing growth is actually running away from yourself. And I always tell people, you can't run away from yourself. Wherever you go, you're always there. This is a pattern that you need to look at. How are you carrying this? What acceptance do you need of self? What appreciation? What gratitude? What love? What trust? When you're safe within yourself, you actually show up so much differently than you even realize. You stop overgiving to others in order to prove your worth. You stop helping because you need to feel needed. And you stop rescuing people because you think that's the only way you can be loved. You actually start from a place of capacity and kindness and compassion, from knowing who you are and how the help that you can offer does have an impact and does make a difference. And that's different. And sometimes you can't help people. You cannot help someone that doesn't want help. That's another exhausting part of this, trying to fix people that don't want to be fixed. You don't need to see other people's patterns. They need to find their own. You recognizing their avoidance is actually the mirror of you not seeing your own avoidance or your own places where you're stuck. What you can notice in other people is purely a reflection of where you are. And sometimes when your natural inclination is to help people, it can drive you mad when you know what they need and they don't want to listen. Because there's absolutely nothing worse than having someone say, I want this or I need this, or I need help, and offering that help and then them saying, no, oh, I'm fine, I can do it. Or they take it for granted that you'll always pick up after them. Doesn't help anyone. You can't force that healing on anyone else. You can only do it for yourself. You do not need to carry around your baggage like your favorite handbag. All you can do is show up in the way that you know how. Walk through your own bad days if you have to. Repeat what's done to you, or choose love over fear every time. Choose boundaries without the need to destroy anyone else. You can love and care for people, be compassionate, but you cannot carry what does not belong to you. You can't heal for someone else. That's actually not self-love, it's self-abandonment. And that's one of the processes we are not doing anymore. What happens when you get stuck in that mode? It's where you sit there and scroll and scroll and scroll, and you'll see a post that says, if you struggle with this, it might be childhood trauma. If this is going on with you, this is the label. If you attract emotionally unavailable people, it's an attachment wound. If you procrastinate, it's because your nervous system doesn't feel safe. If you're tired, your body's storing trauma. Or even, I've said it to people before, if money feels hard, your root chakra is blocked. Now, some of that can be true. But after half an hour of scrolling through that, you don't actually feel empowered. You feel like you're a walking disaster with Wi-Fi. That everyone knows what's going on within you. That everyone can see the problem except for you. By giving yourself 12 wounds, 3 attachment styles, 2 trauma responses, and more labels of blocked chakras and problems in self isn't helping you heal. This is the big problem, is we look for diagnoses and labels and excuses for what's going on within us instead of empowering ourselves with what's going right within us. Stop looking for the broken parts of you and start focusing on the healed aspects and build from that. This is what happens when we don't integrate our healing. It's when too much awareness actually turns into anxiety. The more you know, the more you label and the more you get described of the different type of traumas that you have and the different type of problems that are in your life and the different things that means to you, actually creates more stuck trauma in our body. We freeze, we block up, and we really can't move forward. And the body starts to brace and the mind starts to search for danger everywhere. You put your body into high alert, you get flooded with cortisol, and you're just waiting for the next thing to go wrong. And when it does, you feel justified. You make yourself feel worse. And then you sit there and beat yourself up and tell you, I just need to do more healing. It's not the case. It's okay to sometimes become curious, looking for information. It's an open feeling where you have a wonder of, is this what it is? And that's okay. But don't embody it, because when you do, you start to feel panic, and that panic feels urgent. And that's your body when it goes into shutdown mode. That creates burnout and disease. The difference between curiosity is that thought that something is interesting and I might explore it and I wonder what that means and I'm happy to look at it without owning it. And panic is, oh my God, that's me. I have to fix this now or no one's ever going to love me. That's not intuition at all. It's fear with a megaphone. And you need to start noticing the difference, because healing actually needs space to land. You cannot dig, pull apart, analyze, clear, release, or process and transform the wonder in rawness. You can't. When you feel that scattered, that panicky, that broken, for want of a better word, that essence of self that isn't safe, you have to give yourself time and space. A plant does not grow because you keep digging the roots up to check if they're growing, right? You have to water it, nourish it, give it life, feed it, give it space, talk to it, let it grow. Allow it to become everything that it has to become. And yes, sometimes you have to trim back the dead leaves. You know, a rose bush, if you don't cut away the blooms when it's finished blooming and trim back, it won't grow again as well the next season. Our healing's like that. We don't punish a plant because something didn't bloom fast enough or because the season of blooming is over. We acknowledge the beauty of the process. Look at the, the essence of it, all the details of it, and then wait for it to bloom again. This is what your healing journey is like. Sometimes you need to go outside, have a drink, look at the sky, eat some nourishing food, move your body, have a shower, cry, scream, shout, dance, turn the phone off. Okay, I want you to just place your hand on your heart and say, I'm safe in this moment. These simple acts are not shallow, and being grounded does not mean basic. Your nervous system does not always need another breakthrough. Sometimes it just needs a deep breath. I am safe in this moment. Sometimes we want breakfast, sunlight, conversation with others, sleep, a walk outside, music, dancing, love, fun, laughter. Sometimes you just need to stop turning every feeling into an emergency. A bad day can be just a bad day. We all have them. Having a bad day does not mean that you're not healed, that you can't cope, that things happen. It just means that it's another aspect that you have to live with life. There are ups and downs always. Your body stores memories and it holds the pain of what your mind tries to push away. Those aches and pains and heaviness and tension and the weird little signals are just signs of things that you're ready to face now, that you're open to experiencing. It's not a container for pain. It's actually there for joy and movement and fun and pleasure and rest, laughter. For all the dancing around the kitchen, playing sport, feeling the sun on your face, going outside, hanging out the washing and be present with it. Listen to music and hear the words. Hug someone. Feel that. For being held. That's what alive is, being alive. Sometimes we make it too hard. We can make it easy. The deepest healing can come from screaming. Go and put some heavy music on, heavy metal music, and rock out to it and see what happens. You'll clear your trauma faster than anything. You don't need to hold on to it. Your healing journey is meant to bring you closer to life, not further away from it. It heals your relationships. It brings you closer, it brings joy. You find peace. You find life and presence and beauty in everything. It's not an identity. Stop labeling yourself as the wounded one, the traumatized one, the broken one, the lost one. You're a whole person that's been through many things in order to bring you to where you are today. The important part is not what happened to you. It's actually who you become through it all, how you show up now, how you honor your life, what you choose to repeat or what you choose to grow through, how you reclaim yourself, choosing love over fear. It's not perfection. You'll never find it. Real healing is actually much more practical. It's like catching a pattern earlier than you did before. Seeing the trigger of how you respond to it or how you overreacted before and choosing a response. Speaking honestly and openly. Stopping over explanation of things. You do not have to justify your decisions to others. Setting boundaries without needing to write a 12-page essay. Drawing the line in the sand. Sometimes it's feeling anger without wanting to burn the world down. That was one of the biggest ones for me. Anger. Oh my God, I used to get so angry at things. My first response was to cry because I couldn't process it. My body would go into skits and then I'd cry and then I'd be so angry that I'd start screaming and blaming everything and having all these issues. Because I never understood the anger. And usually the thing that set off the anger was never what the problem was. Nowadays, when I get angry, it's usually through disrespect. And then I look at it and ask myself, is someone else disrespecting me? Am I allowing disrespect to happen, or am I disrespecting myself by not standing up for myself? That is the growth. The gift that I gave myself for now allowing anger to rise in me and just taking moments. And sometimes that can look like walking away from someone, not to give them permission to continue to push the buttons, but to feel the anger and then decide what to do with it. Because usually when I overreact in anger, it destroys me, not the other person. Sometimes it will look like it's destroying the other person for the viritol that comes out of my mouth. But what really happens is I don't like who I become in that angry state. So I choose to let it come. I take a breath. I let it move through me and ask myself, what am I really angry about here? How has that shown up for me? Do I need another boundary? Or what standard do I need to raise here for myself? This is growth. This is the demanding better. It's not arrogant or disrespecting self in any other way. It is just the level of toleration for what's happening and the allowance of what other people try to do to you and your decision to accept or deny it. And I loved it myself so much. I will not down to others. I will not allow myself to be belittled by myself or from other people. And I won't accept bad behavior. That is the real healing. Not the pretty version. That's the lived version. So I want you to consider this. Are you using your healing journey as self-punishment? Do you keep asking yourself, what is wrong with me? Do you feel guilty when you're not actively working on yourself? Is every emotion that you feel a problem? Do you think you need to be more healed before you can be loved? Do you feel like that a bad day means that you've gone backwards? Do you sometimes consume healing content and feel more anxious than grounded? Or are you delaying your life because you're waiting to be ready? Because if any of that's true for you, it's time to get off the merry-go-round. Stop asking yourself what is wrong with you. Start asking yourself what is right with you. What do you need today? What support is required? What does that look like? And go out and live. Your healing is not a 24/7, 365 days a year project. It comes and it goes. You don't need to dig beneath the new layers and go back. What else is broken? What timeline do I have to fix? What past life do I have to fix? What generational healing am I here for? Sometimes we just need to be present. Instead of asking yourself, what do I need to heal? Start asking, what do I need to live? That's going to change everything for you. Healing is not only about clearing the pain, it's about reclaiming your life, your voice, standards, your body, your dreams and intuition, the joy, power, all of those things that you've not allowed yourself to feel, to experience because you've been so centered and focused on your wounds. We are allowed to be happy in this life. That's what we're here for. Joy is a blessing. Be blissful. Do everything that brings you happiness. Choose activities that make you feel good. Spend time with people that see and accept you for who you are and acknowledge who you're becoming. Feel support. Say no when you need to. And choose yourself. Get out of survival mode. It does not have to be with you all the time. You don't honor yourself by staying trapped in it. You honor yourself by becoming free. You deserve freedom. It's yours for the taking. You don't need to fix yourself to be worthy. Okay? I want you to say that with me. Put your hand over your heart and just say, I do not need to fix myself to be worthy. And again, I do not need to fix myself to be worthy. Now ask yourself, what does support look like for me today? Not a whole life overhaul, not a 7-step spiritual rebirth ritual, just today. What do I need? Is it food? To get off social media? To write an honest page in my journal? To go outside for a walk, sit in nature? Go and see someone, hang out with a friend? Do I need to say that I need help? Sometimes saying I need help out loud will give you the help that you don't realize that you need all by itself. The universe will answer the call. Healing is not always dramatic. Sometimes the quiet choices are the strongest, and this is exactly why I created Shine with Shaz. I don't want people or women to feel that they need another space that tells them that they're broken. I want them to be in a space where they feel safe enough to tell the truth, to learn and understand their patterns in safety, to release the emotional weight, the burdens, to build up their self-worth, to set boundaries, to reconnect with their intuition, empower themselves through their choices, and safe enough to get out of survival mode and start creating the world the way they want it. Inside Shine, we're not digging for wounds just for the sake of digging. We're actually bringing yourself back to yourself. We're discovering who you really are. Yes, we look at the patterns, we release the emotional weight, we reconnect to your intuition and strengthen your standards, but mostly we help you understand you, all parts of you, accept them. People resist shadow work because we blame ourselves for our negative aspects. When you align with the shadow and realize it exists within you, it loses power so it doesn't have to show up to define itself so much. This is how you start choosing and receiving, creating and living the life that you were always meant to live. Healing doesn't just start with a conversation, it speaks to you. It gives you the clarity and the acceptance that you desire. If you're ready for this phase, please reach out. On my website, you'll find the Shine with Shaz program. There's a free clarity call. Come and have a chat with me. No pressure. If you're stuck and not sure what to do next, I can help you give yourself grace and space to allow your healing to catch up with where you're really at. Remind yourself you're not behind or failing or broken just because you have human feelings. I still get triggered. It's how I process the triggers that matters, right? Healing does not make you perfect. It does not remove struggles. It actually helps you become someone who no longer abandons yourself when you do, right? These struggles that I go through make me feel so enlivened simply because I choose how I want to get the outcome that I desire. Do I want to go back in the pattern where pull me, or I become a victim, or I allow it to disrupt the beauty and the life that I'm creating? Or do I work through it, put it aside and focus on what I'm creating and becoming and allowing myself to receive all the goodness that we want next? That joy, rest, peace, abundance, love, happiness, excitement, all of those things can be who you are. You deserve it too. Just before I close this episode, I want to give you one more beautiful release. Sit with me, place your hand on your heart, and repeat after me, either externally or internally. I release the need to fix myself before I love myself. I allow healing to feel safe, simple, and supportive. I trust the wisdom inside my body. I honor what I survived. I choose to live from who I am becoming. I'm not broken. I am remembering. Until next time. Thanks for listening to the Spiritual Awakening with Shaz podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe down below so you don't miss an episode. You can also follow us on Facebook with the links below. Until next time, trust your intuition and let your spirit soar.